Hello and welcome to an instructional video. This video we're going to be going over our stock unit that we have outfitted with equipment here at Southern Lawn and Equipment. This is our 8.5 by 18 foot trailer that we're going to be going over today. We're going to be going over startup procedures, shutdown procedures, as well as anything you should do before transit. First thing I always want to talk about is how to safely connect your trailer to power, whether you'll be running off of building power like we are, short power, or whether you'll be running off a generator on the generator platform up here. We always want to be safe when hooking up our trailer to the power because it is 240 volts. That is a dangerous amount of electricity. So first thing we always want to do before plugging in is make sure that our supplied power, either coming from the building or from the generator, is in the off position. So we'll turn the circuit breaker off or make sure our generator's off before plugging in. Once you've verified that those are off, you can then go ahead and plug in this side of the trailer. There are some alignment points within the plug itself. You'll push all the way back and slowly just rotate just a little bit to lock it into position. Once that's all hooked up, you can then go ahead and plug into your supplied power. Again, this is 240 volts, so we always want to be safe when handling this plug in case this circuit was live. So always just keep it in your mind to handle this plug from the rear so that we're not contacting any metal prongs within that plug. Once we're plugged up, we could go ahead and flip on our circuit breaker or fire up our generator, and our trailer is supplied with power. On the front driver's side, you do have your 36 by 36 inch access door to your Vino section. In here we have a 30-gallon fresh water tank, your water heater, 12-volt water pump, as well as your 12-volt battery, 12-volt battery charger, 12-volt fuse system, and your circuit breakers. All your 20 amp independent circuits with your 100 amp main circuit. The battery does run your water pump as well as interior and exterior lighting, and it will charge if you are plugged. If the trailer is plugged into power, will charge through that inverter and keep your battery charged. But if you are not plugged in, you will have to monitor your battery or keep your battery charged so that you have lights ready to go. Right next to the 36 by 36 inch access door, you have your city water fill box. So whether you'll be running off of pressurized water at your supplied location, or if you're supplied pressurized water at your location, you'll be hooking up to this port right here. If you are not supplied pressurized water and you are running off that 30-gallon fresh water tank, you'll be filling up this, which fills up the water reservoir 30-gallon and runs off your 12-volt pump. This will bypass your water tank and 12-volt pump altogether, going straight into the water heater to supply the trailer with pressurized water. On the driver's side, right below the entry door, we do have our waste tank dump station. Whether you'll be hooking up a 3-inch RV dump drain hose or a typical garden hose ran to a suitable drain, once you're ready to drain the contents, just pull the gate lever and drain the contents of your waste tank. Once you are done, then you can go ahead and remove your drain hoses, close your tank or your waste gate valve, and put the caps back on. It's very important each and every time before transport or transportation that we check the tread depth on the tires, as well as PSI and your lug nuts, to make sure that everything is secure to safely travel down the road. At least once a year, or about every 10,000 miles, remove this dust cover to grease your trailer bearings. At least once a year, or if you're traveling a lot, about every 10,000 miles. So you do have 2 axles here So you will have 4 grease points in total, 1 on each side of each axle. Next system we're going to be going over is your propane system. I do have a test tank hooked up for testing purposes. I will show you guys on this tank here. Remember, these are 2 independent propane systems. They are never to be ran at the same time. It's always going to be one or the other supplying your trailer with propane. Okay, so first thing we ever do before introducing propane into our trailer, we have to go inside the trailer and just check a few things off the list. First thing we want to do is make sure that our concession flip-up window is open so that we have adequate airflow for proper ventilation. Next thing we want to do is make sure that our hood extraction fan is turned on again so that we have proper ventilation, so that we don't have an excessive buildup of propane inside the trailer. And the last but most important step, always check all of your appliances before turning on propane to make sure that all the control knobs are in the off position, so that when we put propane to the trailer, it is not dumping out of the appliance immediately and filling the trailer up. So once we have verified all those are off, the hood extraction fan on, and our concession flip-up window open, we can then go ahead and turn on our propane system. There are a few checks that we have to do each time we fire up our propane to our trailer to check its integrity and make sure that the system is working properly. First thing we'll always do, this will always be off when you are starting up your trailer. Each time you shut down, you should always turn off your main shutoff valve to your trailer, as well as your propane tank, turn it to the off position. But on startup, with this in the off position, we will turn on our propane tank. And what we're doing here is we're pressurizing our regulator to test its integrity. You will hear a slight pressurization change from the bottle to the regulator when you turn on your propane tank. What we don't want to hear is a continuous flow of gas coming out of this vent at this point, or smell propane coming out. If at this point you hear gas coming out of here and you smell propane coming out of here, please immediately shut off the tank. Call your local gas supply company to come inspect the regulator for integrity, making sure that it's still good. If you turn everything on and you do not hear any continuous flow of gas or smell any propane coming out of here, we are safe to go to the next step, which would be turn on our gas shutoff valve to our trailer. I'm going to keep that off because I have the other side on for testing purposes, but we turn this in line with the pipe to turn it on. Out of line with the pipe is off position. So once we turn that on, we do hear a slight pressurization change coming from the regulator. Okay, that is normal. If you ever hear a continuous flow of gas at this point coming from the regulator, please immediately shut off your gas shutoff valve to the closed position and turn off your tank and have your system checked. It's very important to do these steps each and every time, because with a mobile trailer, the gas lines have to go underneath the trailer, hugging the frame of the trailer, meaning that each and every time that you travel with this trailer, you are susceptible to damage to the gas pipes from road debris. Road debris could be rocks, potholes, blocks of wood, anything on the road that could accidentally jump up, hit your piping, and cause damage to the gas system. That's why it's very important each and every time that we start up our trailer to test the integrity to make sure that everything is operating fine. So if you turn everything on, you turn on the gas shutoff valve, and you hear a slight pressurization sound, sounds like a tss. As long as you do not hear a continuous hissing noise, which would be a continuous flow of gas, we are safe to go to the next step. And I'll switch sides to show you what it looks like. So we turned our gas shutoff valve on. We heard a slight pressurization change, but then it stopped once the trailer was full with propane. We are safe to fire up our appliances from this point. So now we will go inside the trailer and fire up our appliances. Please remember, if at any point in time, if you smell an excessive amount of propane immediately leave the trailer, turn your gas shutoff valve off and your propane tank off, and have your system inspected by your local gas supply company. So the first appliances that we have in here are going to be a 6-burner oven with an oven on the bottom. We have a 36-inch griddle, 2 50-pound deep fryers. We have a sandwich prep. We also have some worktop stations with tables installed. We have a 2-well steam table, as well as a 23 cubic foot refrigerator. To light your burners, your 6 burners on your oven, it's very important to know that these are all free-flowing pilots on this equipment, meaning that there is no shut-off valve to these pilots. As soon as you enter gas into the trailer, propane will be coming out of your pilot slowly. Okay, that's why it's very important each and every night that we shut down, or if we ever leave the trailer unattended for a long period of time, always shut off the gas at the gas shutoff valve as well as the propane tank, so that we are not supplying any propane to the trailer, so we don't accidentally overflow our trailer with propane with gas leaking out of our pilots. Okay, so with that being said, to light your pilots, all you're going to do is stick your barbecue lighter down here and light each one of these individually. Okay, so you have 6 of them on the top. You do have a independent pilot light for your oven. As you can see, I do have it lit down there. To light your pilot for your oven, you'll push and hold this red button. While you're holding the red button down, you'll stick your barbecue lighter through that hole right there. Light your barbecue lighter while you're holding the button down still. And once your blue flame catches, you hold your button down for about 10 to 15 seconds and slowly release, and make sure that your pilot stays lit after all that. Once your pilot's lit, you are free to use the equipment as normal by turning the control knob, and the appliance does light. To light the pilot lights on your griddle top, these are going to be free-flowing pilots as well, so please keep that in mind. You do have 3 individual pilot lights. I will try to show you here. You can see it right up there. You got another one following that burner, and your last one following that burner. To light these, you'll just take your barbecue lighter underneath your appliance. If you can see here, let me try and get it for you. You'll just follow this corrugated line right here. Hold your barbecue lighter right up underneath the pilot and light it. Once you have lit it, just verify that it's staying ignited with your phone. Get eyes on the pilot itself just to verify that it is lit, okay? So you'll have 3 lighting points for all these pilots. There's your other one if you follow this line all the way up right here. And your 3rd pilot for the griddle, follow the line up to right there. Once you have lit all your pilots, you can operate the appliance as normal. Again, the steam table is going to be a free-flowing pilot located underneath the equipment. To light this, just hold your barbecue lighter right by the pilot light and spark it. And once your pilot light is lit, again, you use the appliance as normal. The last pilot we have to light is going to be your fryer. This does take 2 hands to light. You do need to hold a button down while simultaneously lighting your pilot light up there. I'll take you through those steps now. So you do have a control knob on this for your pilot, so these are not free flowing. You can turn the propane off to the pilot. And as you can see, it has extinguished. To light your pilot, if you ever forget, you do have instructions right down here, but I'm gonna still take you through it briefly. Push in the button and rotate all the way to the L on the word pilot. The L has to line up with the red dot on the regulator. Once you are lined up, you'll push and hold in the button. While you're holding in the button, you'll simultaneously stick your barbecue lighter up there and light the pilot, which I'm gonna do right now while the video is paused because it takes 2 hands to light this. All right, so while I was holding down the button with the L on pilot lined up with the red dot, I lit my pilot light. As soon as I have a nice healthy flame, I can then slowly depress the button. Once I depress the button, I will rotate it fully to the on position. Once I'm in the on position, I'll monitor the pilot for a few seconds to make sure that it doesn't extinguish itself. All right, once we have a good flame again, the pilot is lit and we are free to use the appliance as normal. This pilot has already been lit. Our sandwich prep down here sitting at a nice cool temperature, as well as inside. Our fire system right above the sandwich prep. Depending on your local city, county health codes, you might have to get this inspected, so please be up to date with your local city health department. You may have to have your fire marshal come out and inspect the system and tag it for operation, okay? Your extraction fan hood does have these filters in it that will need to be monitored or cleaned at least once, about every 30 days. To remove them, you will lift up, pull out the bottom, and slowly bring it down. You'll wash these with hot water and Dawn dish soap. And then once you got it washed, you'll just put in the top first. There we go. Line up the top, push the bottom in, slide it down. And the most important thing, every time we take those filters out, we want to make sure that we minimize the gaps between the filters so that we do not have grease blow by. Your extraction fan up above, you'll always have a little bit of grease blow by, so at least once a year you do have to get your fan cleaned so that you do not have a buildup of grease on there. We also have this grease trough right below it with this catch cup. This has to be monitored daily so that we do not have an excessive buildup of grease. as well as all of your appliances, cooking equipment. They do have grease traps as well. That does need to be monitored daily. Your griddle has a grease trap down here. Please empty the contents of that daily. Refrigerator sitting at a nice cool 33 degrees. We do supply the trailer with a carbon monoxide and explosive gas alarm. As well as with your fire system, you do have a Class K and a Class ABC extinguisher that does come with the trailer. Now you do have a switch on the wall for your water pump, so if you are running off that 30-gallon tank, you will have to have this on. And to show you that the hot water heater is working, flip on the hot water. That water does get hot, so please be careful not to scald yourself. 3-bay hand wash sink or 3-bay sink with your hand wash sink, as well as your Vino storage above. Next thing that we're going to be going over is how to properly shut down your appliances. As I mentioned before, your griddle, your oven, and your steam table are all free-flowing pilots, so we will not have to do anything to shut those down other than turning off all of our control knobs and making sure that everything is turned off for the next time we start up. The appliance that we do have to shut down is going to be our fryer. To shut down our fryer pilot light, we'll go ahead and take this knob, push it in, and rotate all the way till we're in the off position lined up with the red dot. Once we are done that, monitor your pilot just to make sure that it has gone out. Do the same thing on this side, verify that the appliance is off, and then from here, go down and rotate all the way to the off position and verify that our pilot did extinguish. Once we have shut those off, we can then go ahead and head outside to shut our main shut-off valve for our trailer to cut the gas flow to shut all these pilots off. So to do that, you'll just come out here, turn your gas shut-off valve to the off position, and turn off our propane tank. Once we have done that, the pilot lights will slowly extinguish themselves. Just always come inside the trailer to verify. It is a slow process to burn off the leftover gas in the pipes, propane, but we always want to verify that everything does go out so we have no open flames on the trailer. As you can see, all pilots are now off. On my burner, on my oven, and on my steam table. Once we have turned off all of our appliances and all the heat and carbon monoxide has been extinguished or vented out of the system, we can then turn off our hood fan so that we could close down for the night. Over on the passenger side of your trailer, you do have your concession window flip up, 5 foot, with a flip up stand countertop. You do have 2 lights to supply great light for nighttime serving. To flip these down, you do have some locks right here. You'll push in. For this one, you do have some pivots inside the arm itself that self-lock themselves. Pull up a little bit, flip the pivot on both sides, and once the pivot is flipped, you can then go ahead and stow away your countertop and close your concession window. We thank you for taking the time to review this video. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please do not hesitate to reach out to us here at Southern Lawn Equipment. This trailer is readily available for a customer that wants to purchase it. That could be you. So please call us here at Southern Lawn Equipment. We hope to hear from you soon. Thank you.